Have you ever wondered why some people seem to flow through life while others keep running into walls? Why do some people attract kindness, success, or love, while others attract stress, drama, or struggle? Is it just luck? Hard work? Or is something else going on beneath the surface? What if your life isn't something that just happens to you, but something that responds to you? That's the idea behind something called the law of attraction. Now, I know that phrase gets thrown around a lot these days, on social media, in books, even in movies. But today, I want to take you deeper. Not just into a list of positive thinking tips, but into a real, meaningful conversation about what this law actually means. Because the law of attraction isn't just about thinking happy thoughts or making a vision board. It's about understanding something much bigger, that the world around you might be a reflection of the world within you. This idea isn't new. Ancient wisdom from different cultures has said it for centuries. As within, so without. You become what you think. The mind is the forerunner of all things. So today, I want us to explore this, not as a trick or a technique, but as a quiet, powerful truth about life. We'll talk about what the law of attraction really is, how it works on a deeper level, and what it means for the way we live, think, and feel. Because if your thoughts and emotions are shaping your reality, then the most important work you can ever do is the work you do within. Let's begin. The origin. To understand the law of attraction, we need to go back, not just a few years, but thousands. This idea that your thoughts shape your reality didn't start on YouTube or in self-help books. It's actually very old. In ancient Egypt, in India, in Greece, wise people were already saying that the mind was powerful, that your thoughts didn't just stay in your head. They went out into the world. They shaped the way life responded to you. The famous phrase, as within, so without, comes from a set of teachings known as Hermetic philosophy, a very old way of thinking that says the universe reflects what's inside us. In the East, the idea of karma says something similar. Not just about action, but about energy. What you put out into the world comes back. Even in early Christian and Sufi mysticism, there were teachings about the power of faith, intention, and belief, about how your inner life and your outer life are deeply connected. Then, in the 1800s and early 1900s, a movement called New Thought started growing. People like Phineas Quimby, Wallace Wattles, and Neville Goddard began to speak about the mind in new ways. They said that your imagination, your beliefs, and your emotions could shape what shows up in your life. Neville, in particular, taught that imagining something with strong feeling could bring it into reality, not through magic, but through natural law. These thinkers weren't just selling ideas, they were offering a different way to live, a way where you stop reacting to life and start creating it from the inside out. Later, books like The Secret made the law of attraction popular again, but many people misunderstood it as just wish for something and get it. In truth, it's deeper than that. This isn't a new trend, it's a very old truth. And it's not about controlling the world, it's about aligning with it. What the law of attraction really is. So, what is the law of attraction, really? You've probably heard the popular version, think positive and good things will happen. It sounds simple, and it's not wrong, but it only scratches the surface. The law of attraction isn't about forcing things to happen. It's not about pretending to be happy all the time, and it's definitely not about denying pain or difficulty. At its heart, the law of attraction is about alignment. It says that the energy you carry on the inside, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, creates or attracts the experiences you meet on the outside. That means the world you see around you is often a reflection of what's going on inside your own mind. Now let's slow down and think about that. We tend to believe that reality is something out there, separate from us. But what if it's not? What if reality is more like a mirror? And that mirror doesn't just show you your face, it shows you your state of being. Let's break that down. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. Most people focus on what they want. They want money, love, peace, success. And that's natural. We all want good things. But the law of attraction doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you believe, to what you expect, to what you feel on a regular basis. You might want love, but if you feel unworthy inside, that feeling is your signal. You might want success, but if you constantly expect failure, that expectation becomes your reality. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about becoming aware of the invisible forces that shape your life, your thoughts, your beliefs, your identity. Everything is energy. Even science tells us this. Everything is energy. Your thoughts are not just quiet whispers in your brain. They're vibrations. Your feelings are signals. Your beliefs are programs running deep below the surface. Imagine your mind like a radio station. Whatever frequency you're tuned to is the kind of music you receive. So, if you walk through life tuned into fear, doubt, or lack, you tend to notice more of that. Not because life is against you, but because your inner filter is set to that channel. When you change your inner frequency, when you shift from fear to trust, from lack to gratitude, your experience begins to change too. The law is always working. One of the most misunderstood parts of the law of attraction is that it only works when you're trying to use it. But here's the thing. The law of attraction is always working, whether you're aware of it or not. It's not a tool you turn on. It's a law, like gravity. You don't have to believe in gravity for it to affect you, and you don't have to believe in the law of attraction for it to shape your life. The only difference is, when you become aware of it, you can start working with it, consciously, deliberately, gently. From control to alignment. This isn't about controlling every little detail of your life. It's not about micromanaging the universe. It's about learning to align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the kind of life you want to live. That means becoming more aware of the stories you tell yourself. I'm not good enough. Nothing ever works out for me. People can't be trusted. When those stories are running in the background, they shape what you attract, whether you realize it or not. But the moment you start to shift those beliefs, even slightly, you begin to shift your experience of life. So what does this mean? It means that your inner world is not private. It's not sealed off. It's being reflected back to you all the time, in your relationships, your work, your emotions, even in random situations. And that's not something to be afraid of. It's something to get curious about. Because it means you have more power than you think. Not power to force or control, but power to influence, to invite, to attract. A quiet revolution. The law of attraction is not loud, it's not flashy, it doesn't ask you to be perfect or to fake anything. It asks you to listen to your thoughts, to your feelings, to the quiet patterns that show up in your life again and again. And then to gently choose a better story, a better focus, a better emotional home. This is where change begins, not in the outer world, but in the space behind your eyes, in the way you see yourself, and in the energy you choose to carry, moment by moment. The inner mechanism, how it works. Now that we understand what the law of attraction is, let's look at how it actually works, step by step. Not in a mystical way, not in a magical way, but in a deeply natural, almost quiet way. Think of it like this. Your thoughts are the starting point. Your emotions give them power. Your beliefs shape what's possible, and your state of being, your energy, is what life responds to. Let's go deeper into each part. Thoughts. The seeds. Everything begins with a thought. You think about what you want, a goal, a dream, a feeling. But here's the truth. We have thousands of thoughts every day. Most are automatic, recycled, unconscious. And most people don't realize that these constant background thoughts are like seeds being planted in the garden of the mind. If those seeds are full of fear, doubt, or limitation, that's what begins to grow. If your thoughts are kind, hopeful, and open, the soil of your life becomes different. So awareness is the first step. You can't change what you don't notice. Emotions, the energy. Thoughts alone are like dry seeds, but emotion is the water that makes them grow. A thought with no feeling is weak. A thought charged with emotion becomes powerful. It vibrates, it broadcasts, it creates a shift. This is why visualization is so important. It's not just about seeing something in your mind, it's about feeling it in your body, as if it's already true. When you feel love, gratitude, peace, or joy, even for something that hasn't happened yet, you're sending a strong signal into the world, not to beg for it, but to align with it. Beliefs, the foundation. Now here's the deeper layer, beliefs. You can think a positive thought, but if your belief contradicts it, the belief will always win. You might say, I'm going to be successful, but if your inner belief is, I never do anything right, that old belief will pull the strings. Beliefs are like the operating system running in the background of your mind. The good news is, they can be changed, and the law of attraction works best when you align your beliefs with the reality you want to live. That means replacing old mental programs with new ones. I am safe. I am supported. I am capable. I am enough. These aren't just affirmations. They're instructions to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is what drives most of your attraction. Focus where energy flows. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on what's missing, you'll attract more of that lack. If you focus on what you already have and what you're grateful for, you begin to tune yourself to abundance. Focus doesn't mean obsession. It means directing your attention with purpose. It means being aware of your mental patterns and gently guiding them towards something better. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, reality grows. State of being, your overall vibration. When we put it all together, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and focus, they form your state of being. And this is what the law of attraction responds to most. It's not about one positive thought or one good day. It's about your overall energetic signature, who you are being, not just what you are saying. Are you being someone who trusts life, someone who expects goodness, someone who gives love easily and receives it with joy? Or are you living in resistance, fear, or constant doubt? Your state of being is like your personal broadcast tower, and the universe is always listening. It's all connected. Each part of this process is connected. You think a thought, it triggers a feeling. That feeling connects to a belief. The belief shapes your expectations, and your expectations guide your actions and attract experiences to match them. It's not random, it's deeply structured, like an invisible pattern that weaves the inner world into the outer one. The law of attraction isn't a trick, it's a mirror. It doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you are. The nature of mind and reality. Let's step back now and look at the bigger picture. We've talked about how thoughts and emotions shape your reality, but this brings us to a much deeper question. What is reality? Is it something solid, fixed, and separate from us? Or is it something more fluid, something that responds to the mind that's observing it? This question has been asked for thousands of years by philosophers, sages, and scientists alike. Some say reality is like a dream, so convincing that we forget we're dreaming. Others say it's like a mirror, always reflecting back the contents of our consciousness. And modern physics even suggests that the act of observation affects what actually happens. It all points to one simple but powerful idea. You are not just in the world is also in you. The mirror of consciousness. Your mind is not just a passive receiver of experience. It's a creator of meaning. It interprets everything. And how you interpret things, what you believe, expect, and feel, shapes what you perceive as real. That's why two people can live through the same event and come away with totally different stories. One sees pain. The other sees a lesson. One sees loss. The other sees a beginning. The world outside of us may be shared, but the world within us, that's personal, and it colors everything. The law of attraction doesn't create reality from thin air. It shapes the lens through which you see, feel, act, and respond. And over time, that lens becomes your world. Mind and matter, not so separate. For a long time, people thought the mind and the material world were two different things. But many ancient traditions, and even some branches of science, suggest otherwise. Quantum physics shows us that particles behave differently when they are observed. That means the observer, the mind, has an impact. This doesn't mean that thoughts instantly move mountains, but it might mean that reality isn't just out there. It's entangled with the one who is aware of it. Maybe mind and matter are just two sides of the same coin. Maybe the world isn't happening to you. Maybe it's happening through you. Living as a creator, not just a passenger. When you understand that reality responds to your inner state, you begin to live differently. You stop blaming the outside world for everything. You stop waiting for things to change before you feel good. Instead, you start to turn inward. You realize that the real power is not in controlling the world, but in becoming someone who naturally attracts what aligns with them. That shift from control to alignment is where peace begins. Because now, life is no longer just something you survive. It becomes something you co-create. Misconceptions: what the law of attraction is not. By now, you've probably noticed that the law of attraction is not what most people think it is. Let's clear up some of the biggest misunderstandings, because getting these wrong can leave people feeling frustrated, confused, or even disillusioned. It's not just think positive and everything will be fine. This is the most common trap. People are told to just stay positive and magically good things will appear. But forcing yourself to smile when you're in pain isn't the point. The law of attraction isn't about denying your emotions. It's about being honest with yourself and then gently choosing a better direction. You're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to be afraid. The key is not to live there. You feel it, learn from it, and shift when you're ready. It's not a wish machine. The law of attraction is not a genie that gives you whatever you want because you asked nicely. It's a law, not a magic trick. Just like planting a seed in the ground, things take time to grow. You have to nurture the energy through belief, emotion, and alignment. You're not commanding the universe, you're cooperating with it. It's not about controlling everything. Some people try to control every detail, obsessing over how and when things will happen. But that's not alignment, that's anxiety. The law of attraction teaches trust. Your job is to stay aligned, to believe, and to act when inspired. The how is not always yours to figure out. Sometimes the universe has a better plan than the one you imagined. It's not a way to avoid responsibility. The law of attraction doesn't mean everything is your fault. It simply invites you to look within when things aren't working and to grow from there. It's not about blame. It's about awareness. And awareness leads to power. Living the law, conscious creation. So far, we've explored what the law of attraction is, how it works, and what it isn't. Now, let's bring it into everyday life. Because the law of attraction isn't just something you understand, it's something you live. And living it doesn't mean you suddenly float through life in perfect peace. It means becoming more conscious of what you're thinking, feeling, believing, and radiating into the world. It's about becoming a creator, not a passive observer. Let's look at how. Begin within, the inner atmosphere. Start by paying attention to your inner world. Just like we check the weather outside before going out, we can check the weather inside our minds. What thoughts are running today? What emotions are sitting under the surface? What story am I telling myself about my life? You don't have to fix everything all at once. You just start noticing. And once you notice, you can begin to shift. The law of attraction responds to your dominant state, not your quick thoughts, but your deeper vibration. and your vibration rises when you care for your inner life. Live the feeling first. This is one of the most powerful practices. Most people wait for good things to happen before they feel good. But the law of attraction works the other way around. Feel it now, and the outer will begin to match. If you want love, begin to feel more loving. If you want peace, begin to slow down and breathe deeply. If you want abundance, practice gratitude for what's already here. You're not faking it. You're learning to live from the feeling you want, not toward it. This simple shift changes everything. Shift the story. We all carry stories about who we are, what we deserve, and what's possible. Some of those stories were passed down from childhood, from culture, from painful moments, and many of them are no longer true. Living the law of attraction means becoming the author of your own story again. You start replacing lines like, "I always mess things up," with, "I'm learning to trust myself," or "Nothing good ever lasts," with, "I'm safe enough to enjoy what life gives me." You don't just repeat affirmations. You believe a little more each day until the belief starts to believe in you. Detach from the outcome. This one is hard, but it's key. True alignment means you trust the process, even when it's slow or unclear. You don't grip your desire. You don't chase it. You release it, like planting a seed and walking away, knowing the soil will do its work. You show up, you stay open, you take inspired action, but you let go of forcing results. This kind of trust allows space for the unexpected, for life to surprise you. Follow the inner nudges. When you're aligned, the next steps often appear gently, not through pressure, but through quiet intuition. You'll feel a pull to call someone, to start something, to take a walk at just the right time. These little nudges are often the bridge between the inner and outer world. The law of attraction doesn't always deliver through grand miracles. Sometimes it whispers. Your job is to listen. Make it a way of life. This isn't a one-time practice. It's a way of being. It's not just about manifesting a few things and then going back to old habits. It's about living each day with awareness. Am I aligned with what I want? Am I thinking from fear or from trust? Am I acting from love or from lack? This is where the real magic happens. Not in the outer things you get, but in the inner person you become. Because the person who feels whole no longer chases things to fill a hole. They attract from fullness, not emptiness. Living the law of attraction is about becoming the kind of person your dreams naturally belong to, not through striving, but through gentle, conscious transformation. And it all begins with a single question. What am I offering the world through my energy, right now? Closing reflection. Who are you, really? So now we come to the end of this journey. We've talked about the law of attraction, not as a gimmick or shortcut, but as a deeper truth about life. That your inner world is constantly shaping the outer one. But at the heart of all this, there's a quieter question. Who are you, really? Are you just a person reacting to the world? Or are you something more, something powerful, something aware? The law of attraction invites you to remember that you are not separate from life. You are not a passive character in someone else's story. You are consciousness itself. You are the painter and the canvas, the dreamer and the dream. When you understand that, everything changes. You stop chasing, you start aligning, you stop waiting, you start becoming. This isn't about being perfect, it's about becoming present. It's about noticing your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, and choosing to direct them with care, because the world isn't judging you, it's reflecting you. So when you become more loving, the world becomes softer. When you become more trusting, the world begins to open. When you become more peaceful inside, chaos outside starts to quiet down. It's not magic, it's not control, it's resonance. You attract what matches your state of being, and the more you live from that place of inner awareness, the more life begins to flow, gently, naturally, sometimes in ways that surprise you. So as you go forward, don't ask, "What can I get?" Ask instead, "Who am I willing to become?" Because who you are is the starting point of everything. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more deep content. We cover philosophies of life,